Close your eyes and imagine a family once cherished as the heart of an empire. A father who ruled over 1/6 of the earth. A mother consumed by her love and fears. And children who carried the weight of royal blood. Now, imagine that same family imprisoned, stripped of everything, facing the shadow of death. How did the Romanovs, rulers of Imperial Russia for over 3 centuries, fall so completely? This isn't just a story of politics or revolution. It's a deeply human tale of love, loyalty, and tragedy. Stay with me as we uncover the chilling, step-by-step collapse of the Romanov dynasty, their final desperate days, and the heartbreaking end of Tsar Nicholas II and his family. 1. The rise of the Romanovs and Nicholas II. To understand their fall, we must first explore their rise. The Romanov dynasty began in 1613, bringing stability to a war-torn Russia. For over 3 centuries, they reigned as one of the most powerful monarchies in Europe. Tsar Nicholas II ascended the throne in 1894, at just 26 years old. Nicholas wasn't like his father, Alexander III, who ruled with an iron fist. Instead, Nicholas was gentle, introspective, and deeply devoted to his wife, Alexandra. But these qualities, admirable as they were, became glaring weaknesses when it came to ruling a vast empire on the brink of change. The young Tsar was unprepared for the weight of leadership. His reign was marked by growing unrest, with the people demanding reforms and the aristocracy doubting his abilities. Still, Nicholas clung to the belief that his power was ordained by God, a belief that blinded him to the storm brewing around him. 2. Alexandra and the shadow of Rasputin. Nicholas's wife, Alexandra, was equally misunderstood by her people. She was fiercely loyal to her husband and deeply spiritual, but her German heritage made her a target of suspicion, especially during World War I. Enter Rasputin. Grigory Rasputin, the enigmatic mystic, arrived in the Romanovs' lives as a healer for their only son, Alexei. Alexei suffered from hemophilia, a life-threatening condition that made every injury potentially fatal. Rasputin seemed to work miracles, stopping Alexei's bleeding through prayer and instilling hope in Alexandra. But Rasputin's influence came at a cost. His erratic behavior and questionable morality caused scandal after scandal, tarnishing the royal family's reputation. To the Russian people, Rasputin was a symbol of the monarchy's corruption and decay. 3. World War I and the Revolution. As World War I raged on, Nicholas made a fateful decision. He took personal command of the Russian army. While he was away at the front, Alexandra was left to govern. Heavily influenced by Rasputin, the war was a disaster. Millions of Russian soldiers died. Food shortages spread across the empire, and public anger boiled over. In March 1917, Nicholas was forced to abdicate, marking the end of the Romanov dynasty. For the first time in 300 years, Russia was no longer ruled by a czar. For captivity and false hope, after his abdication, Nicholas and his family were placed under house arrest, first in the Alexandra Palace, then in Tobolsk, and finally in Ekaterinburg. The Bolsheviks, led by Lenin, saw the Romanovs as a threat to their new regime. The family clung to each other during this time, maintaining a semblance of normalcy. Diaries and letters reveal a family deeply connected, trying to shield the children from the harsh reality of their situation. They believed that monarchist supporters or foreign allies would rescue them. But these hopes were in vain. 5. The final hours. On the night of July 16, 1918, the Romanovs were told they were being moved for their safety. Instead, they were led to the basement of the Ipatiev house. There, under the dim light of a single bulb, they were met by a firing squad. The execution was chaotic and brutal. Bullets ricocheted off jewels sewn into their clothing, prolonging the ordeal. Nicholas and Alexandra died quickly, but their children suffered a more agonizing fate. In the end, the room fell silent, stained with the blood of a family that had once ruled an empire. 6. Legacy and reflection. The death of the Romanovs marked the end of an era. Their story is one of power, betrayal, and humanity. Today, the Romanovs are remembered not only for their role in history, but for the tragic, intimate moments that defined their final days. Their tale serves as a haunting reminder of how fragile power can be, and how quickly it can be lost. The Romanovs' end wasn't just the end of a dynasty. It was the end of a way of life, swept away by the tides of revolution and change. If this story moved you, please like the video and share it with others who love history. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the untold stories of the past. Let us know in the comments. What would you have done if you were in Nicholas's place? Could the Romanovs have been saved?